Tylko ludzie Gomeza mają tam wstęp.
Well, welcome back to NSG Fall 2024. We are raising money for Norges Blindeforbund, or the Norwegian Association for the Blind and Partially Sighted. If you want to donate to this amazing cause, like many of you did, thank you in the previous run, and also all the runs before that, you can do it still. Now it's time for poker, doing Gothic in the most and best language ever, Polish.
The most and best language ever. Yes.
Have fun.
Thank you, thank you. I think we will just get right on it. It's kind of related to the fact that I would like to catch the next bus to my hotel. So, without further ado, I will just start the new game, and that will also be starting the time. So 3, 2, 1, go! Hopefully this works. Okay, so we already know everything, so we're not really curious about anything Diego has to tell us. This is Gothic, a classic German, or depending on who you ask, maybe a Polish game from like 2001. Very popular in Germany, Eastern Europe, because in Poland at least, because it has a great translation. That was embarrassing. But we are not going to see almost any of it because we are... What is wrong with my... Wait, there we go. Because we are going to be skipping the entire game and flying, quite literally, straight to the Sleeper's Temple, which we normally only visit in Chapter 5 out of 6. So what I'm doing now is preparing for the catapult glitch, which is if you pause at the right time, 2, 3, 4, and then unpause at the right time, and not die. That's kind of important. So let's try again. If you pause while running on the right frame, and it's not hard because this game runs like crap, 21 FPS if I remember correctly, and then unpause at the right time, you get a ton of speed, so much that the camera cannot catch up with you. So, 2, 3, 4. No, the camera cannot catch up with you. So you. What am I doing? I'm holding control to only be able to go up and down with the camera because my lineup is already ready. I died. I will attempt this a couple times, probably. This is usually how this looks like, unless you're going for the world record. You're trying a couple times. I'm saving and loading. Made it perfect. Yes. Okay. You can appear in a couple of places. This wasn't the best one because you can recognize the absolute best one by the angle of the camera. This wasn't it, but this is really good. So good stuff. This is an Orc's temple, Sleeper's temple, and we are trying to be avoiding orcs. Orcs are not really our friends. And normally in this game, we can use a little trick called saving and loading to get all of the enemies to kind of stop in place for a couple seconds. But this doesn't work on people and orcs. So with orcs, we just have to run away from them. A little trick is, like, there is no one way of actually avoiding orcs. All of it is just practice. Like, you got to practice and practice and practice. And one of the small tricks is if an orc doesn't have his weapon out, then you're good because he has to come up to you and then draw his weapon out. If he has his weapon out, then you just need to make him turn in the last moment. That's pretty much the only thing you can do with the orc. What I did right there was the map in this game, or more specifically, the animation of bringing out a map is very glitchy. I don't have a map on me now, but whenever I press M, which is the map key, I reset my animation. And that means I can chain jumps, for example, and we will see it again here. If I just keep hitting M, I will just keep resetting my animation to like the base state, midair, and then I can just chain jumps forever, essentially flying, I guess. You could say I'm flying. Please don't kill me. Thank you. So like I said, we entered the Sleeper's Temple. Normally you only do that in the 5th chapter out of 6. But we don't really care about that too much. Another thing is, what if you hold M instead of tapping it? This happens. Hello? Or not. I almost saved when I was dead, which is totally possible with this game. Saves and loads are usually to, like I said, freeze enemies in place. It's a nice feature of saving and loading. Like I said, doesn't work on orcs and people, though this isn't much of an issue anymore because these are not orcs. These are orcs, orc guardians, and orc guardians are not orcs, as the name suggests. So it doesn't you don't have any issues with them. Right, I'm gonna do a backup save just in case this doesn't work. You can skip this cutscene of talking to this priest, but I won't do that because it's safer not to. So what I want him to do is I want him to follow me. I think I screwed it up. Yes. Okay. Yes. There we go. What I want to do is, generally, why am I even talking to NPCs? To kill the sleeper, which is the final boss of the game, we need to stab his 5 hearts with the blades of 5 orc shamans, and these are the shamans. And if he has his melee weapon out, then that's good. I'm sinking into the ground to make him follow me, and then we are going to open a trap that's supposedly for us, and I'm hoping the priest will fall into it. There we go. And at the bottom of this trap, there are spikes. And every time I save and load, he gets damage from the spikes. So he is almost dead. So that's one priest done, 4 to go. And just as a tiny spoiler, I will not be killing any of them. As in, this wasn't a kill because he just killed himself, right? I didn't have anything to do with it. And just as a tiny spoiler, I will not have anything to do with any of these deaths. They will all have just very unlucky accidents. So we will be finishing this game without any experience from them because, like I said, I didn't kill them. They just randomly happened to have accidents that allowed me to loot them and get the 5 blades needed to kill the sleeper at the end of the game. Again, just changing jumps a bit. This dude has never killed me, but, you know, I can never be too sure. So that's coming up is the most random, easily the most random priest. So hopefully this goes smoothly. But I love the explanation behind what's about to happen, because this room has a lot of skeletons inside, as you can see. And then we have a switch, and theoretically, you should be switching a couple of different switches in this room. Wait a second. A couple of different switches in this room, but they all do the same thing. So instead, we can just switch the same switch multiple times. The first 2 switches, or the first 2 switches of this switch, spawn demons, and you're supposed to fight them, but we just don't care about that. And then the third one spawns a priest, but spawns a priest, right? And I'm going to talk to the priest because this is a standard thing. We talk to most of the priests, 3 out of 5. So we talk to most of them, and then I'm going to hide behind this switch, right? So he doesn't see me now. And because the skeletons were closer to him than they were to me when he spawned, and he either spawned or stopped talking to me, one of the two, that means they will aggro him and not me. So they kill him pretty quickly. The only problem is, it's pretty random because they also push him around, and he almost... I was afraid he was going to shoot me, but he just shot a random skeleton. And that's it. The skeleton, the priest is dead. I loot him from his blade. The only problem with this is the moment he dies, they instantly take aggro on me. So if there's a skeleton nearby that's like standing right next to me, it's possible that the moment the priest dies, the skeleton kills me. But this was very smooth. Like I barely get it this smoothly, so I was a little worried about that. But fortunately, nothing wrong happened. One thing I did while I was waiting for the priest to die was I got my mana to be bigger, like the whole bar to be a bit. I just have more mana points now. I filled in the bar just to be able to use, and I also equipped a spell that lets me transform into an orc dog, and that's all going to be useful here and a couple more times, not just here. But I'm trying to get into this wall for a tiny bit and then use the transformation, because one of the side effects of a transformation done like this is we're going through walls like this. Now I'm going to activate a cutscene, and the way cutscenes in this game work is I get into the trigger and out of the trigger. As long as I kept pressing the same button, I am still moving in the cutscene. So I just need to get out of the trigger to skip the cutscene. We will be doing this once again as well. Here, I stand in a very specific spot so that the priest has to jump on top of this. This scroll was supposed to be a bait for me to jump on top of this table, whatever it is, and die. But I just instead forced the priest to have a happy little accident. Here I just fill my mana again to do another transformation. We're just using the same spell. This is the spell I got in the very beginning when I was running away from orcs. The reason we didn't enter the temple immediately, but rather just went for scrolls was this particular scroll. And like you cannot get you cannot just get one of them, because the orc dog is the last one on the list. And it's not that it's the last one on the list always, because when you start a new game, the order of everything in the, if I remember it correctly, the order of everything in every chest is determined, and then it changes once you save for the first time. So for it to not be on the last place, you would have to not save before that time, and like that's only what the world record does. Here we have a trigger for spikes, but we go past the trigger. So once it finishes, nothing else happens. I can just run through. I do this part, so I just jump across the wall and then move to avoid talking to the priest, because that prevents him from talking to me. Now a quick save and load, and we're waiting for him to reach a certain spot, and then I will move to the side and move back, so that will just keep him running towards me, and then I kill him with the spikes. And go past the trigger again, so I can loot him. If you're wondering, like, why even have spikes like these that like just have the trigger in front and then just never work again, it's because it's not the intended route. You're never supposed to be entering this this priest's area, I guess, through this. There is a hole in the wall that you're supposed to use. So we're just doing it faster from the front. And this is 4 priests done, 1 more to go, and then the sleeper. Careful here, because there is a human here, and humans are not affected by saves and loads, so they're very dangerous. Here we're just flying a bit more. And just trying to reach this ledge, because if we went downstairs, everything is closed there, and we have humans nearby, so it's very tricky to avoid that. It's way easier to just lose a bit of time gaining height and going over all of this instead of going through there. Nigdy więcej się tu nie pokazuj. And here we're doing probably my favorite pre-strat, which is this one, which is I'm not like this, completely not like this. I'm jumping, I'm trying to trigger like this. I'm trying to trigger the priest, but also jump onto a slope so that he follows me onto this slope. And then this game has a very specific pointing system. You point to like a chest or an enemy, and you don't do anything with them. If you just point at them and hold left click, nothing happens until you hit W. W is the action key, but you have to be holding left click. So what I'm doing now is I'm aiming at him as more like an object than an enemy, and then I'm tapping W. The moment he dies, I loot him. And I'm not able to do it for a long time. It's only a small window. I have to just hit W the moment he dies at the bottom of this temple. And I just like, I got it. It's not always that I get it. It's not that much of a big of a window, but just mashing W usually does it. I could open this gate with the 5 blades, but it's slower than flying over it, and also there's a human nearby. Here we have another cutscene, and we just jump over the trigger, So at some point we get out of it with that jump still. And that way the cutscene just skips. And we are quickly approaching our final boss soon. So far, honestly, it's been one of the most solid so far. So hopefully I'm not jinxing it or anything. But so far, it's been one of the most solid. That was scary. That's why I saved, because he has a very long blade, and like I've been killed by him on many occasions. But this is so far one of the most solid marathon runs I've done of this game. Coming up is probably my favorite glitch in the entire game, which is we skipped the cutscene as well here, which is Korkalom, which is at the bottom of these stairs, will try to talk to me. I will try to interrupt him by pausing, and I failed, but that's not much of an issue. I just have to wait for them to kill me. Kill me, thank you, because I don't have any control until they kill me. So, thank you. I have to pause the moment he tries talking to me, which is not that easy, but I just let the game play for like a frame. There we go. And then I load the game on that. Then when Korkalom tries to talk to me again, now the game thinks I'm talking to him. So no one can attack me. I also cannot escape out of the game because I'm talking to someone. As you can see, this guard will just come up to me and say, and attempt to attack me, but he is being prevented from attacking me. The game is softlocked essentially. Getting ready on time. The game is softlocked essentially. You cannot do anything, but one thing you can do is finish the game, because stabbing the 5 hearts will still trigger the end credits. So that's exactly what we will be doing right now, which is time. Honestly, 15:46 is a very solid marathon run for this game, so I'm pretty proud. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching, and I would say enjoy the rest of NSG.
Thank you. That was very quick and very enjoyable. Thank you very much for this run. And we will go now to intermissions, and after that, we will have the next run, which will be Star Wars, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, any percent, no stab launch. I have no idea what this means, by Vaisht. So, see you soon for this run.